Hello, friends, and welcome back to this week's Competitive Modern League with Is It Breach. Before I get started, I have good news and bad news. First, the bad news. The videos that I had already recorded with this deck experienced a strange bug that I've seen before. It happens so infrequently, I always forget about it. But basically, the audio in one video takes on the audio from another video, and they make no sense. So those recordings are basically trash. Now I could go back and do commentary over the replays, but I really don't like doing that. So I just thought it'd actually be like more fun to give you guys more matches. So what I've done is I'm restarting a league. Today I'm going to play round 1 and round 2 of the new league. So you get a doubleheader today, and you'll get 6 matches total, and then I get to do everything live as I'd prefer to do it. Also, I've made some slight tweaks to the deck. I feel like I've played enough with it. I've learned a few things, and let me just walk you through those. They're pretty minor. One of them is I've added a land. I had a Vendilion Click in the main. In fact, I think I'm going to actually make another quick deck change. Let me first get through this. I had a Vendilion Click in the main in the deck you saw yesterday. I've cut it for another land because I feel like occasionally this deck gets flooded, but I've had just, you're trying to cast a 5-drop, and I know you have Serum Visions and Ops, but I think the deck might have been one land too light. I feel like I've had enough times where I'm hoping to draw additional lands. So I'm going to try adding a 23rd land, and then also I added another Spell Snare back in. And the reason is just that I think Spell Snare is really good, but I think it's better in a Blood Moon deck, because I think what you want to do is if you can counter something with Spell Snare, counter something with Remand, and then Blood Moon, I think it just makes your Blood Moons better. And I'm still learning the deck and learning what's correct. I also cut an Emrakul. I still am not 100% sure that that's right. I've seen other people do it. Part of me thinks, no, you just want as many match and combo pieces as you can. The other part of me says, well, you're not really casting, you're not comboing off till turn 5 or later, and Emrakul's probably the worst thing to draw. So I'm going to try cutting it down to 3. Now in the sideboard, actually I think I'm going to make one change, and that's to put a click in the sideboard. I don't know if this is right either, but I had a 3rd Anger. I do think that the deck can get overrun simply because you only have so much removal, and against the go big decks, your answer is Blood Moon, so you're kind of more worried about the more aggressive decks. Anger seems like it'd be good, but I do think that Vendilion Click can have a place in the deck, so I do want to run one. That's all I'm changing. Let me go ahead and get into competitive league so that we can get started. Oh, I will just as a reminder, there's a league playlist in the short description if you want to watch the first video to check out the deck tech and that stuff. See you guys in a flash. Okay, so this hand's going to have to be a mulligan. This is one of the downsides to playing this deck. While the combo is immensely powerful, the pieces don't do a lot on their own. I know that some people have said this is why they want to play Kiki Moon over something like this, but I'm still not convinced that deck's better than this deck. I think that this deck is. I think the combo is just so powerful, and while you sometimes end up with this awkwardness, I don't know that I want to trade off the power of the combo for a much weaker combo, or just the backup game plan of I'm gonna kill you to death with a 1-4 and a 2-1. And try to win that way. I think Twin, when you had Splinter Twin, was much better at doing that than Kiki Jiki is. Okay, so yeah, I do believe that this is a mulligan. We're also on the draw. That's a great hand if it had a bunch of lands. Let's see. Okay, this is not. Okay, that makes it a little bit better. So I think this is actually better than both of those first 2 hands. We also are going to hit our second land drop, so we get to kind of decide, depending upon what we're playing against, are we going to Spell Snare, or are we going to Serum Visions? Sacred Foundry into nothing. Not sure. Could be like a weird start from burn. It could be like a red-white prison deck or something. Either way, I like leaving up Spell Snare here. If it's red-white prison, we can maybe get a Chalice. Oh, it could just be Jeskai. Let's see. Do we draw a land? That's good. Okay, so in that case, do I want to represent a 2-mana counter? Probably. Let's play this Flooded Strand. Just pass. We know we're going to hit our next land drop. I think we're playing against the Jeskai deck. If he gets aggressive with a Snapcaster Mage, I have one question. Do I Spell Snare it or not? And the reason is, like, kind of an old trick is against the blue deck is to flash in a Snapcaster Mage. Okay, just opting. The old trick is to flash in the Snapcaster Mage so that they deal with it, tapping them down 1 mana so that you know you can safely resolve a Geist of Saint Draft. But this might actually be Jeskai Breach as well. I'm not actually sure how good Jeskai Breach is. And okay, so I think I'd rather have these get islands. I don't have a need for a red mana source yet, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and just fetch twice. I didn't finish. I think Jeskai Breach, I think the deck's probably fine, but I think the biggest power that it had was it was an unknown quantity, and I think a bunch of people made mistakes. I think doing something like Breach is just better backed up with Blood Moon. You have a really good answer to late game or to big mana decks, as well as just kind of making sure that you really throw them off with your Blood Moon, and it buys you time to find your combo, stuff like that. Is he going to Spell Queller my Serum Visions? It looks like it. Okay, so we're definitely playing against Jeskai, and we're going to have to find a removal spell for that Spell Queller. Unfortunately, that is not one. I'm going to play it tapped. I think the Spell Queller is going to go the distance. Mark my words. Alright, I'm just going to electrolyze his face here. Play that tapped. Bouncing Spell Queller, what a terrible idea. Let's get to replay it. Oh man. I guess you could go for a Colonnade activation. We can. No, I can do that. Bolt. Alright, gonna go to 8 and probably going to look for a bolt with this. Yeah. Guess I'm taking the Electrolyze. This Through the Breach is miles from doing anything. Alright. Not going to cast that now. We're going to go ahead and cast this bolt. A lot of things could go wrong here. Our opponent could Spell Queller it, which we probably would have to fight over. But then if we, let's say we Cryptic, like we Queller, then we Cryptic counter his Spell Queller, then he plays Geist. Probably dead to that too. I think that would be a pretty good sequence of events for him. Alright, well I'm glad that's dead. Let's go ahead and cast this Serum Visions. Snapcaster Mage, Through the Breach. I think I'm going to... I'm almost thinking about bottoming the Remand and drawing the Breach. The thing is, we're at 8. He has 5 cards in hand. He has a Colony that we really can't deal with. If we just kind of try to play this long game, I think he's going to win. And I really like Remand against him, but yeah, I think I think our path to victory does not lie in playing a long game against our Jeskai opponent there. Alright, I'm going to Electrolyze. I know that this could go bad, Bolt, Snap, Bolt type things, but I do have a Spell Snare up. Hopefully, let's see what we draw underneath that. Okay, land is good. Let's play that and pass. It's going to be difficult, but I would really like the ability to snap Supreme Will. Looks like Bolt. Lightning Helix. Do I counter this or do I counter the Snapcaster Mage that's going to follow it? I think I counter this. I don't have much to do with these Snapcaster Mages, so if I could potentially like snap Spell Snare, that gives me something to do. Four mana, 5 mana. Are we firing up Colonnade? Let's see. I think I'm just gonna I'm thinking about bouncing the Colonnade, but I was also thinking about just taking it from the Colonnade and going Snapcaster, Supreme Will, but I'm going to try to bounce the Colonnade. If this works and then our opponent plays Geist, I guess we have like a chance to just draw an Emrakul. I think taking 4 was just too much. I mean, we're only at 8. This could logic knotted. It could get Cryptic. I mean, it could get Spellquellered. It's too bad we don't have a Bolt. I'm just going to go ahead and yield. I don't know that this is the right thing, but what we can do is snap Bolt on our turn, kill the Queller, and bounce the Colonnade. The problem is we'll probably just die to Bolt, snap Bolt at that point. I feel like our only out... Oh, he just didn't attack. That was a mistake. So we didn't take the 4. I think I am going to try and snap Bolt and bounce this Colonnade. If he has a Spell Snare, I can do it again. I was actually checking, can I snap Supreme Will to counter that? I can't. Just double checking that I didn't have another play. Okay, so that'll resolve. Opponent has 3 cards at hand. We're at 8 life. And I'm just I'm doing this now because I think if I wait till my turn, I don't think that I will successfully get all of these things to resolve. And I think the way that I'm losing to the game is by getting hit with a Colonnade and then getting bolted out. So lets me draw a card, and it means that it kind of gives us a temporary answer to this Colonnade because it's going to come back into the battlefield tapped. So it gives us 2 additional draws to try and resolve a through the breach. Okay. I think I'm just attacking. Am I attacking into Spell Queller? That's the question. I think so. See, this is kind of my... not my argument, but this is one of the reasons I was thinking, you know, maybe I should be playing... this is the argument against cutting the 4th Emrakul. Because now we're in this position where all we want to draw is Emrakul. And it's not happening. So our opponent attacks for 4, and he certainly has Bolt, Snap, Bolt up. I really feel like the only way I'm going to win this game is if I try and if I snap Supreme Will. I guess I just have to snap Cryptic though. If I really think he has Bolt, Snap, Bolt, I kind of think he does. Or just 2 burn spells, we're just dead. I'm gonna cast another Snapcaster Mage. targeting Cryptic Command. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I don't have enough mana. I was thinking, okay, so I can snap spell snare his Snapcaster Mage. Actually, I think I just let all this happen. I take 4, and I snap at yeah. The way I'm gonna try to win this game is I'm gonna snap Supreme Will. So his Snapcaster Mage is gonna resolve. He's gonna spell snare my Snapcaster Mage. Then at the end of turn, I'm gonna play my Snapcaster Mage and Supreme Will and do my best to find a Emrakul. And if that doesn't happen, then I think I'm just kind of dead anyway. If he snaps spell snaring, I'm going to assume he doesn't have another spell snare. This also means we're not just suddenly dead to burn spells. You should probably attack this time. Alright, so he doesn't have a spell snare. Did not. Supreme Will. It's all you, buddy. Ugh. Ugh. I guess I take Opt. Because Opt gives me the most chance to draw the card I want, I think. It's interesting. Let's Opt. I'm probably going to put just about anything that's not an Emrakul on the bottom. We could still just be dead to 2 burn spells. Definitely putting that on the bottom. Emrakul. It's not Emrakul, but it's not terrible. So I'm going to go ahead and actually just cast this Blood Moon. I have a blocker for his Snapcaster Mage, and I have a Cryptic Command up. So he's probably going to try to path his own snap. The question is, do I let him? Oh, he's going to path mine. Okay, so if he has... I kind of want a Cryptic... Let's see here. If he's pathing this, that's because I feel like then he can kill the Snapcaster Mage, and he's going to try to win with the I think this is fine. Actually, I'm going to let that happen. I have a Cryptic Command up, so I can still defend the lone Snapcaster Mage with another counter spell. It does get 2 blue mana, but let's see how this goes. He had a Plains anyway. He attacks. Block here. 2 cards in hand. I will counter draw that burn spell. Alright, so he's going to Helix me, counter the bolt. Come on. I want that Emrakul so bad. Alright. These aren't going to do a good job of saving us. Spell Queller, I will remand you. Redundant Blood Moon. Opponent has now 2 cards in hand. I think I just opt now. I'm just looking for that Emrakul. He's a Spell Queller. I guess I just remand this Spell Queller again. I guess I could have remanded my own thing. Yeah, I'll put that on top. Serum Visions. Oh my god, this is so painful. I have 25 cards left in my library. Man, maybe running the 4 Emrakuls is just wrong. Maybe this is why. I mean, running the 3. Jesus. Alright. I don't know how I'm still alive. I feel pretty dead this turn. He's got 3 cards in hand now. Sweet baby Jesus. Just going for it. We know he's got the Queller. I think I pay 3. And nope. If I pay 3, I no longer have the remand up. So maybe I'm just getting like double leaked here. Maybe what I'm supposed to do is just not pay it. And pass. Now, we know he has a Spell Queller. I don't know what else he has. But I think I'm just supposed to... I could easily die to like an Electrolyze. But I think I'm just supposed to Breach now. There's a lot of stuff. I could die to Snap Bolt. Let's see. Maybe not. Maybe he's got the Spell... Maybe what I'm supposed to do is just... I felt like he must have been sitting on like double leak or something. So Spell Queller leak... All right, I feel like this is really difficult. I really just want to untap it. I just want to through the Breach now. And then if he has another counter, that's fine. But if he has any other way to kill us, maybe he would have already fired it off, though. Let me think for a second. So in that situation just then, he mana leaked. Is he really playing around another remand if he has Snap something or other? I don't think so. We're about to find out. I guess he gets to maybe block Emrakul with his Spell Queller, which we can remand. Alright, attack. Annihilation. Yeah, so I think I remand that. I don't know if I'm just dead to bolts, then why didn't he kill... he doesn't have the burn. He would have just killed me when I cast it to begin with. Yeah, okay. Crazy game. All right, against Jeskai, I think that the clicks are good. Just the information, getting a look at their hand is nice. I think Disdainful Stroke's probably good enough. I think the Dispels are good. I think I need to leave in the bolts. I feel like everything is pretty good. The Cryptics might be clunky. Maybe it's the... let me see. I'm not sure here. I don't know that it's worth trimming on the combo. I don't remember how I boarded last time I played against Jeskai. I think the most important spells are these two. Let's just start this way. I think that the most marginal spells that I probably have are maybe these. I really do like them to kill like clicks and Snapcaster mages, but I think that that's less important. It's harder for a Snapcaster to run away with the game, I think. So I'm going to board these two out. Blood Moons are fantastic. I think the Spell Snares are really quite good. I probably want some answer to Geist of St. Traft, but because I think I can pretty easily lose to that card. I can probably trim a Cryptic because of its clunky nature. I think the Click probably has the most value against the Jeskai deck. I'm going to be on the draw. I could probably board out a land. I could probably just trim like a mountain here. So I put us at 59 cards, and then the next thing I want, it's going to be Anger or this Disdainful Stroke, I think. I think probably Anger. Kills Spell Queller, kills Geists. I don't know how else I would fit anything else in. These Supreme Wills could also be a little clunky. I could trim one Supreme Will for just something more efficient, like a Disdainful Stroke. I'm going to try this. Let's see how this works out. I wasn't paying attention to my timer, and I don't think I sideboarded. That hasn't happened in a while. That's okay. This hand is not terrible. Oops. Alright, I don't think we're going to be spell snaring on turn 2. I'm just going to go ahead and immediately cast the Serum Visions. It stinks about the sideboard. Right as I was about to click submit, I just got really focused on trying to decide what I was going to draw. 2 through the Breach, and a Bolt. I think the Bolt could be useful. I think I'm going to keep both of these. Top, pass. Opponent seems to be looking for land drops. I'm going to pass. There's a Bolt on top of our deck. But if our opponent plays a Geist, I want to be able to remand it. Okay, draw the bolt, flooded strand. I'm okay to just fetch and shock here. Cast the other Serum Visions. Do I remand the Queller? We could get Geisted, but I also don't want to give him a nice... I don't want to get in a situation where then next turn we are... I like let him untap, then try to bolt the Queller, and he Quellers it again. So if I'm gonna sort of go like... He doesn't have anything in the yard, so if I'm gonna go shields down anyway... I guess there could be... What could he... At 2 mana... I think what I'm actually going to do is let it resolve and just bolt it. I mean, this is what I kept the lightning bolts in for. And that remand might be a little bit better later in the game at fighting counter wars than just randomly giving him back a Queller. And I guess there's a chance that I was going to say draw. Actually, yeah, I would say there's a chance that we draw a land this turn and get to hold up remand anyway. So these 2 lands, I need to hit my land drops. I think I'm just going to put the vents on the bottom, but I'll keep an island. Okay, I did play a land this turn. And then let's just pass. That makes sense as we are on the draw. So obviously Geist would be terrifying. Super glad that didn't happen. Alright, I'm fine to just play this island and say go. We're bolted. Play another island. So now I will try to resolve the Supreme Will next turn. I'm kind of glad I drew the island because I didn't want to shock myself with Steam Vents, but I do want to try to cast the Supreme Will, but I don't want to do it without having remand up. That way, if he tries to counter it or something, I can just remand the Supreme Will back to my hand. Alright, so I will go ahead and try to cast the Supreme Will. I gotta watch my clock here. It's really between Ops, Remand, or Spell Snare. I already have a Remand and Spell Snare. I kind of just want to take the Opt so I can continue looking for the combo. Snapcaster Mages is a consideration, but maybe it is Snapcaster Mages because I can get a Bolt. But I'm going to take the Opt. I will opt now. I think if I bottom this, it's going to be a land. I'll go ahead and draw the snap, even though I put one on the bottom earlier. Okay, let's Serum Visions. That is good. How do we make sure it resolves? Remand, Spell Snare, Cryptic Command. I don't think we're dead yet. I think I can stack them like this. And then hopefully use this Cryptic Command to like bounce something to just draw out a counterspell, basically. This is a Snapcaster Mage. No, it's going to be a Spell Queller. Okay, just an Electrolyze. Opponent's opting. We know there's a Cryptic Command on top of our deck followed by an Emrakul. I don't think that I need to... I think I can draw that and play this tapped. Because I have Cryptic and Remand up at this point. I will happily Spell Snare this. That's what it's for. I'm actually tempted to snap Spell Snare. That allows us to keep a Remand up. Let's see, if we go snap Spell Snare and then he Spell Snares our Snapcaster Mage, we can Remand our Spell Snare. We have Emrakul coming next turn. Actually, I'm just going to let this resolve, and I'm just going to Remand what he casts. Unless if he's just going to cast like an Opt, I think I'm okay with that. I will let him Opt. I'm more worried in trying to figure out how I can use this Remand in order to fight over, like, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm not going to be able to, let's see here. Opponent has 4 cards. I'm tempted to use this Cryptic Command to bounce this Colonnade, because I just really need to draw out a counterspell. So I'm going to try that. All right, there's an Emrakul and another Through the Breach. All right, so now the plan is to, end of his turn, we're going to Through the Breach. We have Remand back up, and we have Through the Breach on the following turn. We just need to, like, survive. We are at 9. It's not irrelevant. But I think we take our 2 here. And then we Through the Breach. Do I Remand? I don't think so. I think I just untap and Through the Breach again. Because if I, yeah, I think it's better to just say, okay, untap, play this, and Through the Breach. Snapcaster Mage Disdainful Stroke is kind of what I'm hoping for. Or Cryptic Command. Yeah, so just remand this. Do another one. That resolves. Basically going to put our opponent at 1, and he's dead to a snap bolt. So he gets to keep 2 permanents. Sorry that this game is so long. I wanted to think about how I was using my counter spells. So let's see. He keeps a red land. No, he doesn't. So that makes me feel a little bit safer. So we can actually just Emrakul again next turn, which I guess we may actually have to, because just kind of realizing that our Snapcaster Mage is... If he doesn't play another land, then I'm just going to straight up breach and hope he doesn't have the Dispel. Cool. All right, so 3 Emrakuls. I'm not too sure. Also, better to not let your sideboard timer run out. Okay, so this is gonna... How am I gonna post this? I think this is going to be... I think I'm just gonna post 2 matches today. This is going to be round 1.5, and then I'm gonna go ahead and record round 2 and post that as another video, and then we'll be at round 3 for Wednesday, and we'll just move along as normal from there. Okay, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I should have said this at the beginning. Let me give you guys a quick update on the big Jeskai announcement video. So I met with Harlan Fear and Jonathan Rawson. We had way more to say than I expected, and I wanted to make sure that we got to everybody's questions. We ran out of time. We agreed to meet again for a second recording, but there was some scheduling conflicts, and we weren't all able to meet up this past Sunday as expected. Now, I'm going to be away all weekend, so unfortunately, it might be... Then the holidays are coming. There might be some time before I can finish and get to everybody's questions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to release part 1 of the video, and then hopefully soon I can record with those guys, and I'll release part 2. So that's pretty much it. I'm breaking it up into 2 parts. Okay, thank you very much. See you guys tomorrow. Or I guess today for the next video, and then tomorrow.